Right, one of the tricks to making realistic Premiere Pro movies where you have images superimposing, like the kangaroo for example, is that you need to remove the background. Otherwise the background will appear and it will look less real than it should. As an example, I'm now in Photoshop. I'm going to open an object I downloaded. There's the kangaroo, it's got the white background. The sun, I also downloaded from the internet. Now, if I get that guy to move across the screen, there'll be a big white background and it won't blend in as well. So Photoshop has some pretty good tools to remove backgrounds. To do that, first thing you have to do is duplicate this layer. The reason is, if you see that little padlock, the original image is locked and you can't make any changes to it. So what I've done is just done a copy. You notice there's no padlock, and I'm going to delete that layer. So I'm using the copy. Now I'm free to delete the background. There's other ways to do that, but this is probably the simplest way. If you right click on there, I think it defaults to that position, which is the quick selection tool, but the magic wand is the most effective. If you take it there and then just click in that area, it recognizes the difference between the background and the image. And then if you just edit, cut it or delete it from your keyboard, click here and you'll see it's picked up some more. And I just press the delete key on the keyboard then, delete key on the keyboard, just keep going. And there we have a sun with no background. What you do then is you go File, Save As. I'm going to call it Sun 3 because I think I already have a 2. And I'm going to save it as maybe a different format than you're used to, the PNG, which is a good format for the internet, and it's a bit as good as JPEG in some ways. That's okay, there's a bit of compression there. Now, I'll just minimize that for a moment. I'm now back, this is Premiere Pro where I've done the jumping kangaroo and the fade in and the fade out. What I'm going to do now is make a phony sunrise. So I'm going to get the river scene and bring that out a bit. I'm going to go File and I'm going to import Sun 3. Open. Now I'm going to use video 3 here, so drag that in to that position and you can see it doesn't have the background on it. To show you what I mean, if I went back to my original sun, that one, and I brought that in, and let's say I put it there, see the sun has the background in it? So you don't want that one, you need to remove the background. So to get rid of that one, I just right click, cut, right click inside here, cut, we don't want that one in. So there's my sun superimposed on the river. Now I want to do a sunrise and I want the sun to appear bigger, so you already know how to make it move. I'm going to change its size at the same time. So Effect Controls, select the sun, motion, so motion, we're going to double click on it, drag him down off the canvas there, and we're going to click position to set a keyframe. Now I'm going to sneak along here to the end. Grab my object. You can see he's got the line behind him. Let's get him to about there. Alright, so we're there, but we're going to get him to occupy most of the screen. So we go back. at that original position we want to keep him the same size. But scale is the one. Click scale, instigating a keyframe, and we drag it back up here, and just before the end there we're going to change his scale to a ridiculous amount so it dominates the whole picture. Alright, so back. Let's have a bit of our river fade and see what happens. So there's the river completely 100% opacity, the sun rising and growing as it rises. And so that's our third effect. Now, some of the other things that we could do is time remapping. We can make things speed up and slow down. So for example, the kangaroo, we could make him hop faster or slower. The anchor point helps with rotation, but if you change the anchor point, you can rotate about the center of the object or the edge of the object. So we could have had the kangaroo doing cartwheels as well. Now, anytime you want some more effects, you can go down to here, onto the effects panel, and video effects or audio effects. There's preset, or you can search. Now, one that's a favourite with students is lighting. Sorry, light. Now, if we look, I couldn't